Hi, I'm Michelle Day Harper, and I am a biofeedback practitioner, a mental health therapist, a hypnotherapist, past life regressionist, and an herbalist. That seems like a lot, but for the purpose of today's video, I just want to talk to you about biofeedback. So, how does biofeedback work? Well, we live in a universe, a construct, you may refer to it as the matrix, that is based on frequency. Frequency and that energetics also becomes vibration. And the higher something vibrates, it becomes maybe a human being, an animal, something that's mobile, something that has a higher consciousness. If it is a lower frequency and a lower dense vibration, it might be the table, the couch, the bed you sleep on. So there is a difference between what is very dense and what is higher vibrational, higher frequency, and you are a part of that. So when having a session for biofeedback, mainly this comes off of old Rife frequencies from Royal Rife. I encourage you to look into that if you don't know who Royal Rife was, but we have come a long way with that. And now I'm able to scan your voice and whatever frequency you're resonating at, and I get a printout of not just how your body is functioning, how your mind is functioning, how your emotions are functioning, and how the spirit or the ethereal is functioning. Based on that information, I program in all kinds of cool codes of frequency to counteract whatever is putting you at dis-ease, whatever is causing inflammation, pain, mental health problems, and a problem staying in harmony. The truth is, we were meant to be pretty harmonious, but a lot of outside structure within this construct have fought to keep you in a push-pull kind of situation that's very hard for you to stay in resonance, for you to keep yourself together, keep your mind together, your emotions, and your body healthy, not to mention spiritually, the confusion that is out there. So these personal sessions really set you up to continue to excel at wherever you are trying to move, wherever you are trying to get harmony and resonance in your life. Now, frequency can be measured in hertz, and it is measured off the voice for you personally when you have a session with me. I do put out collective sessions. Those are kind of based on just the planet Earth, where we're all resonating. And right now we can totally relate to that because we can feel pain and suffering off of something thousands of miles away. If you're wondering if there's something wrong with you, there isn't. The illusion of space, time, and distance are part of this construct, this matrix, to make you feel like in Kansas City is very far away from the Middle East, is very far away from other parts of the world, but it really isn't. We are really connected to one another. And so I'm hoping that this is a better explanation for you to understand that me plugging in a higher resonance to counteract a lower resonance will increase health, vitality, relieve stress, help you sleep, help you get to where you want to go. We're all kind of confused a little bit, and so I hope to help you that way. So what is a session like with me? Well, first we work off of email, and that's why I always encourage you to contact me through email, which you can on the website, athenas-body.com, and contact me there. Social media, sometimes I won't see something or a question that you have. email me directly. We're real people, not just our handle, which mine is Athena's Body, but I'm Michelle Harper at the end of the day. And as a practitioner, I want to help you. So private email is the best way to contact me through the site. Then we set things up for me to set up a conference type of meeting. You don't have to sign up for special things. You don't have to download a program. I send you an invite. You click on the link on the day and time, and then we set up. Make sure that your camera is on and the volume is on the device that you're using, because I am going to scan your voice, possibly photograph your image if you're okay with that, and we will see the resonance and what's really going on. You would be surprised what comes up on that scan. It may indicate that something is happening with the liver, but it's because you feel there's injustice happening in your life. It's really the mind, body, spirit. They start to affect one another. They are intertwined. One is not separate from the other. Sessions last about an hour because we talk a little bit. Like, what do you want out of the session? We run the scan. We talk about the scan a little bit. I program everything in, and then I play the resonance to kind of rectify the push-pull and where you're struggling. You get to just sit back and relax for about 15-20 minutes. Then we kind of summarize the session. We wonder if you want to, continue with another session, or did this one session do it? Sometimes it does. If it doesn't, you're welcome to rebook. You're welcome to continue to work with me. Sometimes people want to talk. They want to process. They just want to feel like someone is there for them, and I am there for you. I think we need to know that there's someone we can trust. We can speak openly. We won't be judged. And there are real tools and real help. Sometimes we'll use breath work. There's tools we can use in our personal life. I'm happy to offer those. Sometimes people just want to kick back and listen to the tailored frequency that was created just for them. You can always book on the site to just be a member and take the collective readings and do the pre-recordings. Those are pretty good. If you don't feel like you can do individual sessions, I would consider that, because they're good and it offers you a base point and a foundation to get started. And then you can see me for individuals. So now I'm going to take you through a session. I'm going to give you a demo so you can kind of see what it looks like, what the machine looks like. It's nothing really out of this world, but it is new to us in a lot of ways, that maybe we don't take a pill, we just don't, or just see a therapist, or we just hold it inside and pray that we can just make it through. There's real tools, there's real offerings here. So I'm going to take you through a session now. How exciting. You get to see it firsthand. Okay, guys, so since I've already taken probably some preliminary information on you, like your name, birth date, and maybe an image of you, the most important thing that I'm going to do is take the frequency of your voice. Now, if you've ever heard someone who is not doing well or they're sick, you could hear it in their voice. The frequency, the weakness, that you could pick up on that as a human being. This picks up far more than that. So we're going to take on the voice, and also the image that I used is the planet Earth. For this particular demonstration, this is kind of collective where we're all at. I'm going to use my voice and record it, and you'll get to see how that kind of works. And then anything I put in the cart for the session will be based on that. So here we go. A-E-I-O-U. I am standing in for the collective of the earth, and I would like to know what we can do to heal ourselves. A-E-I-O-U. This is the collective of the earth session. And then see, Then we move on. Now I'm going to move to the next screen. So it's analyzing the voice. So as it picks up the voice, then we can move. I already have a photo of us collectively. You can put in an affirmation at this point. Talk about what you want out of the session. I really do recommend that. It makes it very tailored to you. But we're just going to bypass all this. So the first thing that comes up is the stress, fungus, bacteria, viral sensitivities. Now, when you see these things in red, that means they are acute. That means that is what is kind of presenting itself right now energetically. But if I scroll down and go down to the blue means that it's chronic, means that it is coming in at a chronic, daily. It's not going away anytime soon unless you do something about it. So I'm going to pick the liver here since it filters so much. Cardiovascular is a good one. Heavy metal toxicity, I'm going to put in there. Connective tissue, arthritis, things like that. I'm going to put in these chronic phases of what we just picked up. Now, I can also look at the organs at this point. The kidneys, of course, that kind of filtering. The brain. Okay, this is cluing me into how I want to follow with this session. The spleen. Okay, this is decision making. Wow. So we're starting to already decide what we're going to do with this session. Herbs, full panel. So this is a full panel of herbs that I can give you energetically without you even having to spend a dime on herbs. So we're going to put that in the cart. Every time that I move something, I'm putting it in the cart. Minerals. Wow. And so these are acute right now, what we need. Iodine, zinc, iron, manganese, silica. So there are certain things that need to be given to us right now. And then there's a few that are chronic. I'm going to put the full panel of herbs down into the cart. Minerals down into the cart. Vitamins. So rather than buy all this stuff, you're not even sure if you're going to need it anytime soon after the initial acute phase. Meaning that maybe you needed it for the week, but you don't need it for months. So be careful when you're being sold a lot of vitamins, minerals. Here we go. Here's emotional. Empathy, suffering, envy, desire, regret, anger. So I would suggest that because this is a collective session, that we are feeling what is happening around the world. I think this is really rough. I'm going to put empathy in here because what do you do when you can't make physical changes, but you're watching things that should not be? Also, chakra system. Let's look. The root chakra, survival. we're all worried about survival at this point, okay? We're entering things internationally. It's scary. Where should I live? What should I do? That's your survival chakra. I'm going to put the full panel in here because solar plexus, I'm kind of concerned about that for us. So there are things that you do in these sessions and you make some decisions. And so these are the ones that I'm making. And then also, let's put in the solfeggio tones and then also the sacred geometry. Now, there's a whole list here, and we're going to have it prioritized. The machine is going to kind of decide based on the vocals and what we have put in, what are the main things we want? Because we can't solve everything in one session, but we certainly can solve a lot of them. So, let's see. Okay, so it kind of gave me a printout of where I can really concentrate on a personal session. Because this collective, look how many are high. So many that are on this high range. If I move, then there's medium, and then all the way into the lower, right? So at this point, I make decisions, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to do all, and we're going to hit play. And at this point, you will sit back for about 15 minutes and take it in. If this is a personal session, if this is from the library, it's going to be collective like this one. So it's going to hit some points that are absolutely what you are living, experiencing, but it's not as tailored. That's why when you have an individual and we really look at you and, you know, your body complex, it's going to be different than a collective because I hit everything. That means for everyone. And then we will play. What you're seeing with the artwork that's coming forward, that is sacred geometry. That is geometrically showing you that if it wasn't in your personal body, this is what it looks like. It looks like this. It has a lot of butterfly pattern, which I find interesting. Butterfly being transformational. If you look, it looks a bit like butterfly wings, rebirth. So some of this is some interpretation, okay? And you would listen to that for the next 15 minutes, 16 minutes or so. Now, I also want to show you, I have Rife machine, so I have it for thyroid disease. And then all of a sudden, I can get very specific. Okay. Okay, now we're seeing a lot of movement. That's geometric. And math is the key to the universe, you guys. Okay? And the other thing, and I offer this on my site, if you just want to come visit it, is to charge up your water. So you can put your water for the day by this, and it harmonizes it and charges it up. Here we go. So I can also charge up your water for that day after a session. And any advanced sessions that you do, I can charge that water too. So I hope this helps a bit, that this is something when people say, oh, we're going to use light therapy and sound therapy in the future of healing. Well, here's an example of it. We already have an example right here of what we can do. And so I would say start here, because it's only going to get better and better, I think, as time goes on. So I hope this was helpful, that you understand you can have all these aspects in a session, and you can talk, and you can process, and you can speak privately. And I think handling the whole body complex this way is the future of healthcare. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this was helpful to explain what a session might be like. Okay, I hope to see you soon.